these shops?
I will get some potatoes.
And this is our stash. Oh, you say it.
And this is today's veggie purchases and whose? And potatoes. We may have got more than we came in. So here we are in the new garden bed area. I'm going to put some seedlings in, and you'll notice that we're in the shady part of the day. This is quite shaded, and the little garden plan. It's my garden buddy.
Sorry, I got distracted.
My little garden plan is kind of based on square foot gardening, because we do have raised beds, and trying to maximize what we can grow in the space that we have. It's like flies, mozzies. So I've gridded them out. I don't plan to put any type of grid in the garden because I don't want to. There's no real good reason. You'll see that these ones, they're still nicely mounded. The soil hasn't settled too much. I think we have our first weed. I know, it's from something else. So yeah, we'll put some stuff in here, but we're basically going to work today on the stuff that doesn't mind a bit of shade. So this is back in the back corner there. Oh, here's not mine. So we're going to do coriander, onions, spring onion, some more coriander, probably from seed. I don't think I've got quite enough plants to fill up that full grid. And coriander likes to bolt when it gets really hot, so I thought putting it back in the shade would give it probably a good chance to establish itself before we get into summer, and we use it all the time, so Tom can kind of keep cutting it when he uses it. Spring onions, we've got the cool red ones because they're pretty. Some onions in the back corner, so they're kind of a longer crop, and they can tolerate a little bit more shade than others. We've got some Swiss chard in the corner here, and some beetroot and some broccoli, and I might put some broccoli over in those established beds as well. Okay, so with the spring onions, or coriander, I can do 9 plants, 9 onions, 9 spring onion, and I can fit 9 more coriander seeds that I'll plant a little bit later. And then we'll start on the Swiss chard in the front. And I've got a froggy throat, so apologies for the clearing. It just makes my throat feel better. Alrighty, in the back here. So I'm just gonna, it's kind of like a square foot is sort of 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. Or a foot by a foot if you're not in the metric system, imperial. I don't know, where we use meters instead of feet. So it's kind of about this, because these beds are 1.2 long, I think. So I'm just going to basically do 3 little rows that I can just line my plants in, just like this. Like that. Try and tip them out. Squeeze them. Come out. There we go. And so there's a couple in there. So I'll just plant them just in here like this. And because they've got kind of a couple of seed things in them together, I can kind of tease them apart a little bit, and then that will be, without destroying the roots too much, that will be the 3 here along the back. And then I'll put, these beds are really quite wet, so much rain lately. Another pinchy out. There's heaps in that one, so again I'll just keep them like that. I've got the coriander in there. It's basically, this is from the back. Full sun, debatable. I'm going to do it in the shade with afternoon sun. 20 centimeters apart, and we should hopefully be able to pick from these in 4 to 6 weeks. So right into spring when it should start looking really nice. In the back here I'm going to put our pukekohe long keeper onions. So again, we're going to do 9 in that space. It says again 10 to 15 centimeters apart. If you do it any closer, then it doesn't allow the bulbs to develop, so you get like quite scrawny onions. Maturity 10 to 26 weeks. 10 weeks if you want to pick them small, 20 weeks if you want to let the bulbs size up a little bit more. Mine will take a little bit longer because they are planted in the morning shade. Yeah, I'll do that now. I feel like it's going to be more, so I've got to tease these out, right? Because each plant will be 1 onion. So I'm going to be quite careful, see how many I actually end up with. Because in that one cell, there were 4. And clearly, I'm going to have more onions than I've actually got space for, but that's okay, we'll find somewhere for them. So there's 9 onions in here. They look really scrawny and they're tiny, so there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 6, 9. I do it like that, skip counting. And that's only 2 cells in here, and I've got an extra one, so I'm going to find another place where I can pop some more, because we use them all the time and they're pretty fun to watch grow, so that's pretty exciting. So I'll find some other place to put them. And then I'm going to put in front of these ones here spring onions. So these are the ones that you can kind of, they're red stemmed ones, and I'll put this in the back so I know what's there. Clearly I've got a video record, so I don't need to worry about it. These are the spring onion crimson. They're really cool. They've got the instead of that being white, they've got the red bottom, so it's going to look real pretty. And again, 8 to 10 weeks maturity, plant 10 to 15 centimeters apart. It says 9. Again, I might put a few more quite close, because the idea with spring onions is you pick them when they are young. If you pick them when they are too grown, they get a little bit like jelly and weird inside. So I might just go a little bit closer, get more in, and we'll just see how they do. So in the front part down here, I'm going to pop some Swiss chard or silver beet, bright light silver beet, one of Tom's favourites. He likes this in place of the normal silver beet. It's green. What's the difference to you?
I think that the other one has a slightly funny to say but saltier taste.
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
And it just tastes a little bit more interesting versus the green one, which tastes a little bit more bitter.
Yeah. Well, so for these are plant 4 per square foot, or square meter. So I'm going to do that because they do actually grow quite wide, and you can grow them into like trees, kind of, because they develop quite the root system. And you pick, and they just keep growing up. They're pretty cool. And so I've got pink ones there, and I've got a yellow one here. There we go. Actually, maybe I might put them right across the front, because I know that you eat them all the time. Just loosen this up. In that case, I might. Should I try and do 4? I'll try and do 4. Let's see.
What's the worst that can happen?
I don't think they die. What is the worst that can happen?
I don't know. They get really bushy and intertwined. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I think it'll be to do with the roots, right? They wouldn't be able to go down as far or spread as wide.
Maybe feed properly. I don't know.
Yeah. That's something we'll try and be a lot better about this year, is actually feeding the garden. I feel that's why we haven't had too much luck, as we kind of just plant and hope. We can't use blood and bone because of the hungry Labrador. She'll eat all the dirt. She puts her nose through it, and then your plants end up everywhere you don't want them to be. So take one of the strong ones here. Pop it back in there. There you go. So there's 8 nice bright lights in the front of this garden bed. I'm going to put some Chinese cabbage. So we really like the Asian greens to chuck in stir fries, and Tom uses a lot in his lunch. Apparently snails like Asian greens too. So we'll see if these grow. I don't know what's going to happen. They've been massacred since I bought them and just had them sitting waiting for a day that wasn't quite as wet to come out and plant. So I'm going to pop them all in the 1 square foot, and I'll get some quash to put around them to try and keep the snails away from nibbling on your lunch, Tomash. Go. And then again, it's 6 of the Asian greens because they grow quickly, so they don't need to develop like really extensive root systems. And clearly I don't have a lot of these ones left, and they've actually completely gnawed off one, so I've only got 5 here. We'll see how they go. Squish them in. Pop that in there. Can't get it out. That's for you there. This dirt feels really nice. In the corner beside it, you can do 1 broccoli per square foot. And I'm yet to we eat a lot of broccoli and things like that, but I'm really yet to decide whether it's worth growing in the garden, because when you're buying seasonally, it's quite cheap, and it takes a lot of real estate. So these ones are 12 to 14 weeks, so 3 to 4 months for it to actually come to, oh, they all fell out, come to anything. So I don't know, we'll see. We'll pop one in. These are Brocco flower, so I think it's a cross between cauliflower and broccoli. Never really had too much success with brassicas because snails, and the one year that I did, I had some really lovely cauliflower and some with nice little white heads ready to go, and then I came out and Tom had just been picking his stuff for his lunch, and I came out and the dog had decided she also wanted some lunch, and she had eaten them and left them, the remains strewn across the lawn, and I was very upset. So that is a Brocco flower, and I was going to put one on this side as well, because we're going to pop some beetroot in here. It might be a bit deep. These are Tom's beetroot. So the whole idea is we're going to try and grow the things that we eat, because there's no point in putting all that time and love into your garden if you're just going to not eat it or be able to give it away to people who will. So Tom eats beetroot often, makes really yummy raw salads, and again you can do 9 beetroot per square foot. This is Detroit red and matures in 8 to 10 weeks, so I guess quite quickly. But there's heaps of things here, and I've got to get them all out, because if you plant them all together, they're not going to be able to form nice big bulbs. Beetroot are actually another one that will take, if you're going to plant them sort of over winter and let them just sort of size up and just stay in your garden and pick in that as you go. Apparently these are another one that can take a little bit more shade, but as I'd really like them to be coming to something so that we can eat them quite quickly in spring, I will plant them.
You can't poke me while I'm recording.
Is that my life?
Yes.
It's like, I can do whatever I want.
He's going to try and eat your...
No, don't. Hey, you just move over there. I'll give you
That's
some
the
pictures in a
beetroot,
minute.
right? Yeah.
Oh. 1, 2, 3. I've clearly not done the square foot spacing there very well. That's okay. So this is the rest of the Swiss chard in here. Just used the strongest seedlings, and where there was a couple that were a little bit weaker I put them together. Over here is the rest of the Detroit red beetroot. So again, there were some really tiny seedlings that I didn't actually use. We've got 3 of the Brocco flower in here, so 1 per square foot. So this is a jalapeno. I think these might be capsicums, I'm not sure. We'll see whether they come back. It's kind of a lot of space to dedicate for something that doesn't really grow that well for me, but we'll see. But we'll definitely keep this in. Hopefully it's wintered over. We've got beetroot, a Brocco flower in this corner, nice and sunny, so we'll see. We can kind of compare how they go. Oh, I missed one. Maybe there. We'll see. Over here is another Brocco flower, and the munched up Chinese tatsoi. I'll go and get some stuff to put around that. I put some more spring onions just in the corner here, see how they go. I've got far too many from that seedling pack, so I'll give them away. And here we've got more Tom's Swiss chard bed, so they'll grow nice bright lights. We've got the red spring onions here, coriander, and the long onions here, the pukakoe keepers, and I'll put some more seeds, some coriander seeds in here in a couple of weeks, get them growing, and who knows what I'll put in here. But as I was planting, I was kind of thinking, and even Tom said, you might need some new beds because it feels like I'm running out of space. Like, clearly I'm not, I've got stuff, but also we're trying to just grow the things that we eat, so that's going to be cool. So I still want to put in courgettes and cucumbers, beans, maybe some corn, maybe in that raised, that new part we'll put up there with the potatoes and kumara. Grow your chilies, maybe some peas, snow peas, because they're really nice, and just kind of keep going on the Asian greens because that's probably something we use the most of. I've also got roly-poly carrot seeds for Finn because he wanted to buy them. So
the snow peas seem to grow pretty well as well.
They do, and they're really yum to just pick and eat. So yeah, that's what we have at the moment. Obviously I don't know if I said, but tomatoes.
Tomatoes would be epic if we could get them to grow properly.
Yeah, I'll take a bit more care this year and maybe feed them a little bit more, and we'll have them kind of dotted, so it's 1 tomato per square foot. So we'll maybe do 10 plants, see how they go. We'll report back in, but it's too cold to plant tomatoes just yet. Yeah, even the tatsoi, if it gets touched by frost, it will go a bit weird, but you know, they're supposed to be pretty hardy, so see how they go. That's my veggie garden so far. Let's see how they all go. I'll go get the stuff, the snail stuff, so that nothing else gets munched, and yeah, wash my hands under my nails because they're dirty. I don't like gloves, they drop stuff. But have a cool day. Talk to you later. Bye.